You're on a packed train, headphones in, music up, completely zoned out. And then it starts. A baby somewhere in the carriage begins to cry. Not scream, just cry. And within 3 seconds, your music means nothing. Your podcast means nothing. Your carefully constructed mental wall means nothing. Your entire nervous system has been hijacked by a sound you didn't choose to hear and cannot choose to ignore. You look around. You feel vaguely guilty, even though the baby isn't yours. You feel a strange, urgent pressure to do something, even though there's nothing you can do. And the longer it goes on, the more physically uncomfortable you become. Your shoulders tense. Your jaw tightens. Something inside you is screaming, "Fix this," even though fixing it is completely outside your control. You're not oversensitive. You're not anxious. Every single person in that carriage is experiencing the exact same thing. Because a baby crying is not just a sound. It is the most precisely engineered biological alarm signal in human history. For hundreds of thousands of years, infant survival was the single most critical variable in human evolution. A baby that died was a catastrophic genetic loss. A baby that survived long enough to reproduce carried the family line forward. The entire species depended on adults responding to infant distress signals immediately, consistently, and without exception. So your brain evolved a dedicated, hardwired response to the specific acoustic frequency of a human infant cry. Not animal cries, not other loud sounds, specifically the cry of a human baby. Research shows that the human infant cry activates the amygdala, your brain's threat detection center, faster and more intensely than almost any other sound on Earth, faster than a car alarm, faster than breaking glass, faster than someone shouting your name. It bypasses your auditory cortex entirely. Normal sounds go through a processing pathway where your brain evaluates and filters them. A baby crying skips the filter completely and fires directly into your threat response system. By the time your conscious brain has registered the sound, your body is already preparing to act. And it gets more specific than that. The cry of a baby in genuine distress has a different acoustic signature than a cry of mild discomfort. Higher pitch, shorter intervals between cries, more irregular rhythm. Your nervous system can detect these differences automatically and calibrate its urgency response accordingly. You are running a real-time acoustic threat assessment on every infant cry you hear without any conscious input whatsoever. This is also why you cannot habituate to it. Most repetitive sounds lose their impact over time. Your brain learns to filter them out. Traffic noise, air conditioning, background chatter. These fade into the background because your threat system correctly classifies them as non-urgent. But a baby cry never fades. Your brain refuses to classify it as background noise because in the entire history of human evolution, ignoring infant distress was never a safe option. Every cry was potentially the last cry. Every ignored signal was a potential extinction event for your genetic line. The guilt you feel when you can't help is also hardwired. It is the social enforcement mechanism of the same system. Your tribe depended on collective infant care. A group where adults ignored crying babies produced fewer surviving children. Groups where adults felt compelled, physically, emotionally, urgently compelled, to respond produced more. You feel guilty because your ancestors who felt guilty kept more babies alive. You inherited their guilt along with everything else. This explains why baby crying is used in advertising, in emotional manipulation, in film scores. Every director who has ever needed to make an audience feel immediate visceral urgency without explaining why has put a crying baby on the soundtrack. They're not being manipulative. They're just plugging directly into the oldest alarm system in your brain. So the next time you're on that train and a baby starts crying and your entire nervous system lights up despite your best efforts, don't be frustrated with yourself. You are not failing to concentrate. You are succeeding at being human. Your brain is doing exactly what 300,000 years of evolution designed it to do. The baby changed. The alarm didn't. Hit subscribe for more deep dives into the weird science of being human. I'll see you in the next one.